Well, what are the Dutch investigators in Aruba looking for? Let's bring in former LAPD homicide detective Mark Furman. Mark, your hair must be standing on end. The fact that they had a limited warrant right after she disappeared, and they're now 2 years later, they're going around the yard and apparently now wanting to do a more thorough job.
Well, of course, it drives me crazy, Greta. I mean, it certainly, with the evidence that they had that we just knew almost 2 years ago, it seemed like enough to get a search warrant for the complete premises of the Vandersloot's. But, you know, we have to look at this, too. Paul Vandersloot could have said, of course you can search everything. You don't need a limited search warrant. I have nothing to hide. My son is innocent. I'm innocent. And we welcome you to do this. And
they especially should have been asked.
Oh, well, he's
maybe
an
they weren't even
officer of the
asked.
court.
Maybe they didn't bother to ask them.
Yeah, maybe, perhaps he should have offered, but let's look at the other side of the coin here, too. The Netherlands sent this group of detectives, forensic scientists, and they're actually trying to do the job. Perhaps it should have been done then. But we also have to consider that they could have gotten new information that went just a little bit farther on probable cause, that gave them information that would lead them to start looking for what I assume is a decomposing human matter, a decomposing corpse. And
it's interesting. I was there on the property about a week afterwards. Now I wasn't looking around for anything peculiar, nothing visible to the eye, but the front yard, as I walked through it, that to me, if you're going to bury a body, that seemed like the dumbest place. I mean, there are other outside the fenced-in area. I mean, there are a lot of other places. It's a huge island where you could do that. I just don't think they're looking for a body inside that fenced-in area.
Well, Greta, you kind of wonder why people do certain things, why they even kill people. But when they do, a place that you can control, and you can't control the island, you can't control a dog digging up a body or finding a piece of clothes, and perhaps they were just looking for clothes that had a certain scent. Now, you see the dogs there. Those are not patrol dogs. They're not narcotics dogs. They're probably cadaver dogs, and those rods are probably an instrument that measures the content of the soil in certain ways. A decomposing body will give off certain, chemicals and certain minerals. So perhaps that's what they're looking for, that perhaps she was there, or she could have been.
I'm unfamiliar with those rods. What are those rods, Mark?
Well, I don't know. I don't know what advances have been, how far they've gone in forensics, that perhaps they are probing for something solid. That seems a little backwards. But perhaps they are actually bringing soil samples up from deep in the earth, 6-7 feet down, where they could actually analyze those for content of the soil. I don't know. See an anomaly in the soil some other place, and then use the shovels to get deep. I don't know. But they're obviously looking for something with a lead that they have acquired sometime, whether it was at the beginning or recently. They've acquired a lead that has allowed them to get this search warrant, specifically looking in the premises for the possibility of a decomposing corpse. And that's definitely what they're probably looking for.
And it certainly would be, at least the family, all the families involved certainly would like some answers at this point. This has now lingered almost 2 years.
Well, Greta, I think the answers, and I think this sword cuts both ways. You're obligated in law enforcement to follow all the leads to exonerate people as well as inculpate them into the crime. So let's not get confused that the police's job is only to put a case on somebody and arrest them. It's also to exonerate them and move on to the real suspects. So this could be both ways, and I think the Aruban authorities, they bobbled this from the beginning. And it was amateurish, and I agree with you. It was stupid the way they handled the vehicle. It was the best source of information because you knew she was there.
And I hope that finally we will get answers. Mark, as always, thank you.
Thank you.
One of our producers, Tim Silpies, is in Aruba tonight. He is covering the new and surprising developments. He joins us by phone. Tim, what did you see today?
Greta, when I got to the house, I could only get about 25 feet to the house itself, but it was blocked off by barricades and some tape. But what I did see, as you and Mark were talking about, I saw some people digging in the front lawn. And I also later on saw a dog. Police released a dog on the lawn, and it was sniffing around kind of in the front area right where they were digging, and it also moved then towards the house when I lost sight of it. I didn't see if it actually went into the house at that point.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
When you say digging, were they digging with shovels or using this rod?
No, they looked more like thin rods. They weren't shovels as you would see someone digging in like a garden. They were more like thin rods, yes.
What do you get a sense they were doing?
I really don't know. I mean, all I could see was that they were digging. I didn't see them actually take anything from where they were digging and take it away to their cars or anything like that. All I saw was them digging.
Have they now dismantled the tent that was out there and sort of cleaned up and gotten out of there, or do you think they're coming back tomorrow to do more work?
Whether or not they're coming back tomorrow, I don't know. They did disassemble the tent, but when I left that site at about 8:30 or so, there was still police on the scene who were guarding it. The barricades were up, and they were keeping us from getting closer to the home, and for what other reason they were there, I don't know.
Did you see Paul Vandersloot at all, the father?
I did, yeah. Around 6:30, the police kind of massed in front of the house, and Paul arrived, and he talked to them in front of the house for about 5 minutes, then went inside. But then about an hour later, he went out to talk to someone in an SUV that was parked out where we were standing, and he walked right by me, and I tried to approach him for an interview, but he declined and walked into the house.
Tim, thank you.
Thanks, Greta.
Are we about to get some answers from Aruba? We're going to tell you in just a moment. Coming up later, Prince Frederick von Anhalt once claimed he might be Danny